Welcome back. We are here for another Victory TV episode. I'm Janet Von Schmeling here with Herman Von Schmeling. We're so excited to talk to you.
Yes, let's go. Where do we start? So much to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. One of the episodes we touched on you fighting Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk about that more if you want to get into that.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a long career when it comes to, I had 2 fights, or technically 3, but 2 that, they were all wins. So I always say I'm retired undefeated. But I got to say, like, that whole experience was so cool for me.
Yeah.
Just being able to train with some of the greatest guys in the world, some of the greatest coaches in the world. And so the first guy actually I fought didn't speak any English. He was straight from Thailand. It's almost like he got off the plane and was like, and we had to do the weigh-ins. Funny story there. So my first fight was going to be at 155 pounds, which is the lightweight.
Yeah.
2 weeks before the fight, the original opponent, he couldn't make the fight. And so I was pretty devastated because when you look forward to something and you're like training and I'm cutting weight, I'm losing weight, and and then all of a sudden, because Anthony was getting the opponent, Pettis was getting the opponent for me, and he's like, all right, can we find another opponent, right? Because my guy's training, he did and then we got another opponent, but it's at 145 pounds. And so he kind of left that part out. He's like, I got you another fight. You're all set up. And I'm like, great. Because, I went from something was taken away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was
only 2 weeks before is like.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like, but then within an hour, 2 hours, we got another opponent. But he didn't tell me the other weight cut. But he's like, all right, I got good news and bad news, right? Good news is I got you a fight. The bad news is it's going to be it's going to be in the lower weight division. So I'm like, but he's like, listen, you're already creating momentum. You're already cutting weight. You're already training. You can do it. But I don't remember the last time I was at 145 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like super skinny, right?
Remember.
You remember that?
I do remember.
And so,
you were eating like a rabbit.
Oh, that was the time when it was during the holidays, which is really tough because Thanksgiving, I couldn't really eat with everybody because like so much food. I literally ate Thanksgiving in another room. But no, you make that sacrifice. But I was
discipline.
Gosh, so the whole experience was great.
Yeah.
This is funny. So weigh-ins are the day before because then you have 24 hours to rehydrate and everything.
Yeah.
So weigh-ins the day before. Get on the scale, and I'm 145 pounds, and I feel like I won the fight because I made weight, right?
You're like,
and a lot of fighters experience this. Like I said,
celebrate that.
I'm, I didn't have this long, I got so much respect for these guys that do it every single year, and so I just got to experience this twice. But it was really cool because after I weighed in, and then he weighed in, we all went to Cheesecake Factory because not to eat cheesecake, but what you want to do is you want to
it's like your first meal.
You want to eat clean. You don't want to eat but I literally ate everyone's meal at the table, and I was like, are you gonna finish that? Are you gonna finish that? And so but going back real quick, this is a funny story about Mom. So she always looking out for us, and she knew that I fasted for about, it was about 36 hours where it was, nothing, no water, nothing, because you try to lose the most natural weight you can, and then you lose water weight. And so Mom has this huge platter of fruits and whole bunch of stuff. And she looks after us, right? After weigh-ins, she's coming and she's so excited to give this to me. She trips and falls, and it falls all over the floor. And I hadn't ate anything for so long. And it was one of those slow motion things.
Pineapple off the floor.
No, it was the 5-second rule for sure. Well, we're from Paraguay, so it's the 20-second rule. But I was literally eating the fruit off the floor. But anyway, she felt so bad, and I was like, Mom, don't worry. So she spilled it, but everything was good.
It's like a movie.
No, I was gonna say that. It was it felt like a movie, slow motion. I was like, no. Anyway, so had a great dinner that night, and you were there. We all the sisters were there. What a great night! And then the next day was the fight. So the set, and I got lucky. I actually won by hands, which is crazy because I've been kicking my whole life. And so it felt good to,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so left hook, right straight. He was a very good Thai fighter with strong kicks. I remember when he threw the first kick, again, straight from Thailand. I mean, these guys, like...
This is what they do.
Yeah, they swing their legs like it's a baseball bat. I mean, if you know Muay Thai, I mean, these are the strongest kicks you'll ever feel. And I remember dodging a few of them, and I can just hear the, like the wind. And I was like, man, this guy's good. I've got good kicks too, but it comes from a Taekwondo base, which is still, it's unpredictable because in Taekwondo, we have so many kicks.
Yeah.
Front kick, round kick, side kick, tornado kick, reverse back kick, axe kick. There's so many. Muay Thai, you have 2 kicks. You have what's called a teep kick, which is a push kick. And then you have the powerful round kick. I mean, there's a few others. They do the axe kick too. I mean, just shout out to Muay Thai. I just have so much respect for those guys that fight. But anyway, so my corner was like, you got to put the hands on him, because if you go kick for kick, you might land something, but he's got no defense in the hands. So again, it was good. And then he fell on the ropes, which is kind of like a movie scene, kind of, because I hit him and he got knocked. And then he just kind of like planted on the ropes. And anyway, that was one of the coolest things. Anyway, so that was the first one. And then the second one was cool because I had the greatest cornerman in the world in my corner. I mean, I had Sergio Pettis, Anthony Pettis, Duke Rufus, who's one of the greatest striking coaches in the world. I mean, the other guy was probably like, dang, who's this guy? He's got like the best corner. And I remember the first round, I utilized leg kicks. I love leg kicks because I think, just being in Taekwondo, we're not allowed to kick to the leg. No. So as soon as I was allowed to, I was like, so I remember landing
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I remember landing so many leg kicks, and I remember Anthony just coming to me and be like, he doesn't like those. Keep kicking his leg. It's like chopping a tree down. You can't beat somebody with one leg kick, but if you can just constantly,
wear them down.
Yeah, exactly. So won by decision. Tough guy. I mean, I hit him with everything. I did spin hook kicks. It was like a Taekwondo form I was putting on him, anyway. And you were there, and I was wearing the yellow shorts. Shout out to Dad with the yellow. And I just remember your voice so much, like in the arena. I remember Janet's voice, like, "Go Herman, go!" You were, and it was
probably I probably lost my voice.
Yeah. So anyway, just great experience. And the reason I did that was because I was spending so much time with the Pettis and sparring and just being around them. They're like, "Hey, you should get in the ring too," and I was like, you know what, I will.
Everyone, you should experience that.
You should experience it,
being on the mat, teaching for so long.
Absolutely. It was a good challenge. And but again, just shout out to the professionals that do that on a daily basis, the regiment they have, the nutrition part. I mean, it's much more than just, hey, this guy's tough and you can, it's about, having the right nutrition, having the strength and conditioning, or in Brazil, they say strength and conditioning. And then, you got to have, but anyway, so that was cool. And something I'll never forget. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah, I'll never forget it either, but I wasn't the one who had to have tuna and lettuce at Thanksgiving.
Oh,
so I
really you remember that?
Oh, I do. I do, because it was a spread, and as you can imagine, we have a big family, a lot of incredible foods like mashed potatoes, and all the cheesiest, breadiest things you could imagine. Gosh. And he
sounds really good right now.
It was just like romaine lettuce leaves and tuna and nothing, like no mayo in the tuna, only yellow mustard.
That's right. And Mom used to do that, put the mustard in the tuna.
It's still, I still
absolutely. But
we still like a tuna.
And to get all of you to come to Milwaukee, Wisconsin in December, I mean, my good friends Anthony and Sergio, they live there and they still not used to it. They say like, we hate it, but this is what we grew up on. And what an experience to be, because I've never experienced anything really outside of Florida. And to go there like every summer, I used to spend like my summers there really. Every other week I would be up in Milwaukee, which is an hour away from Chicago. Talking about cold. Chicago's an amazing city, but in December, oh my God, it's like it's crazy. That's why they call it the Windy City, right? So
bitter cold though. It's like you like.
But you know what? That fact that you guys went there, like for me in December, it's huge. Like who goes to Milwaukee in December, right? But
for the world.
But no, I was just looking back and thinking about it. Like that was really cool to have all of you there.
Well, I think like thinking about you competing, growing up, your preparation was all the time. I mean, obviously, I'd watch you guys practice, demo team, a lot of practice. And I'd watch you practice your individual stuff too.
Yeah.
But the way you prepared to fight was a discipline in you that I, hadn't seen in that current moment. It was pre-dad.
Yeah, it was.
And so when we're young, and especially with the freedom that I think we always kind of had in our own choices, like to choose to do something really, really difficult. Yeah. I mean, it would be terrible to not support you in that. It was really, it was like,
sweet.
I mean, you were balancing that and still your job. It wasn't like you were, just stopping everything to do that. You were still teaching. You were still,
classes.
Handling everything you had to.
Yeah.
And doing that and not eating and, and so we were, it was well deserved, but the emotion was high that night. And
absolutely.
so we should, I don't know if we can link it or post it or something, but I'm sure we can find that clip, because you're right, it was like a movie when he just kind of falls on the ropes.
Yeah, he kind of falls on the ropes.
Yeah.
And I think you did the edit of the video. Of course
Maybe.
you did. You did something, and then you sent it, because you put the music behind it. Because I came out to the, what was the song? Headlines by Drake. And so like you put the music behind it. I remember that was the first one, and then the second one I came out to Jefe Daddy Yankee. So that was cool. Had all the Jefe, because we did demos to that. So I always thought too, like if I ever step to the ring, like what's the song I'm gonna use, and that was it. But like I said, nothing compared to these guys at the highest level. I mean, I did it twice, so these guys that have been doing it, I mean, these long, just amazing careers. I think of guys like Anderson Silva and Georges St. Pierre, and you talk about St. Pierre's, shout out to him. He's one of the greatest martial artists ever. I mean, he's got 8 black belts.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to say, you talked about someone with 8 black belts. That's who he is.
If wrestling had a black belt, he'd have 9, and like the guy is just, and I met him in Japan, which was really cool. And he was so excited because he was getting his 2nd degree, but like the look on his face, like he was like, it was like a kid, like he was excited about getting his black belt, and that's that martial art. And I had respect for him before, but like after meeting him and him saying that, I was like, this is the guy.
You're cool.
Yeah.
Did I meet him too? Remember I took a picture with a fighter one time and I was like...
Who was it? Was it St. Pierre?
I don't know. I kind of want to Google it. Can I Google it?
Who you took a picture with?
Yeah, no, right? Oh. Like I Google myself right now. No, I just want to see what he looks like. Georges St. Pierre.
He's a French Canadian, and he's.
His dog used to be named Pierre. Yeah, I have a photo with him. At a club in LA.
Oh, no kidding! Yeah,
I'll put that one up too.
Yeah, no, he.
I sent it to you. I think I was so excited.
You know what I do? I do remember that now.
It was when
I just so much respect for him because he embodies the martial, like. He doesn't go into training camps. Like he is a training camp. You know what I mean? Like he lives
24/7
the martial arts, and he walks into the ring with his uniform on, and keeps that tradition. And that's a good thing. Huge about even Anthony, about Pettis. Like he always kept those traditional roots too. Like he entered the ring, he'd always bow. And I think that that's important. That's really important. So again. When you're a martial artist, you understand it, and I just got nothing but love and respect for those guys, for sure.
And you got to experience, and we were around incredible martial artists all the time, but you got to experience, speaking of the UFC world, a little bit of their reality show.
Oh yeah, that
Anthony,
was cool.
And what was that like? Where was that shot?
Yeah,
how did that even happen?
I know. I don't even know how it happened. It just did, So it was 8 weeks in Las Vegas, which is a long time.
Yeah.
I spent about
no one spends that long.
2 or 3 days in Vegas, but I wasn't 8 weeks consecutive. Like I was like 2 weeks here, and then I'd come back, teach a couple classes, go back. Always. You know me. I tore my ACL, and 2 days later I was teaching classes. So anyway, it's just. It's
because you love your students that much.
I do. I really do. I don't want to disappoint them. You know what I mean?
They want you.
They hold me accountable just like I do. Just like our kids, right? They hold us accountable.
Major.
So that whole thing came about. I think it was just Anthony was like, hey, just come on the show and bring some of the taekwondo stuff, and it'll be a good experience, and that's something I'll have with me for the rest of my life. That experience was, and to coach the first girls division. They were entering. It was the 115-pound division. Wow. Yeah, so they're called straw weights. And so the cool thing is like the awesome. Finals, like normally the finals, you become an Ultimate Fighter, you get the contract, and then you become a UFC fighter. This tournament, the winner became the first ever champion. So you became the champion of UFC. So these girls were already, very good, really good records, great martial artists, lots of cool different personalities. But some of them, became champions. So there's a girl that's fighting this weekend, Rose, who is she was in the finals, and she used to train actually with Anthony in Milwaukee, and just really sharp, like really good martial artists, like top of the line. You know what I mean? So as much as I was coaching, like I was learning a lot from them too, and really cool. Just experienced that. I'm
gonna go back and rewatch that. Yeah,
season 20, I think, or season. It's called. The first champion was crowned. So, like, again, the tournament was the first champion, but it's the first time that they introduced that weight class. Yeah, because they already had like Ronda Rousey, which was one, but they didn't have the smaller, so 115. So,
that's historical.
It was cool. It was cool. It was, I saw a few clips. I had like no beard. I had, the Jersey Shore kind of blowout. I was, I looked super young, but to be involved in that, I think was, it was, again, shout out to Anthony. He made that happen. And just the people that were on our team. I mean, good camaraderie and again, memories for life.
Forever.
Yeah.
And because of, and I always think that too, like how awesome this is that more people get to see it and hear it, because reasoning of, like the UFC doing that for the girls, like there's a girl at home watching. And it's like, I think I can do that. And that's really cool.
That was the start of.
So I always really love
absolutely.
that,
Oh my gosh.
It's like there's like many inspirations that are, happening.
And more in this day and age.
We don't even realize it. It's happening with martial arts. So cool.
And there was a time where even President Dana White, who's I believe he's the CEO now. I mean, there's not a better man in the world that can run the UFC like he does. Like, he is the guy for UFC to deal with all those egos and to deal with all the personalities and all the. I mean, he's just the best. But he said, like, at one time, like, we'll never have girls in UFC. Like, in the beginning, Ronda Rousey came and she just, She turned everything around and anyway, and then ended up being where she was one of the most popular fighters, and she was, Olympian. I mean, so she really changed the game.
Yeah.
But then when they introduced the smaller weight class, that was cool because you have
just more opportunity.
More opportunity, exactly. Yeah. So that was cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. And UFC started in the 90s.
So UFC started the same year Victory started.
That's so cool.
Actually, I believe it was the same month too. March 1993.
Yeah.
And was the first UFC, if I'm not mistaken. But I know 100% it started in 93.
So that's cool of such a quick jump of saying, like, from the 90s, girls wouldn't be able to be involved. And then now, just what, 10, when was the show?
Oh my gosh. What was that? I was like 24, 25. So it was like 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
But no, they didn't have girls till much later.
Yeah.
Much later. Like when Ronda Rousey was she was in another organization called Strike Force, and then they converted, they bought Strike Force.
I was going to say, there's a lot of probably things that UFC acquired or
yeah.
Probably a lot of
and that
companies.
Biggest asset was to have Ronda Rousey, and then she started headlining events. And she took the world by storm for sure. And then she went to WWE, so shout out there too.
Yeah.
And now they're under one umbrella because it's the same ownership, TKO.
Okay.
So The Rock's one of the board. He's the director of the board. So
cool.
The guys that we were watching as kids are now running
in charge,
it. Yeah. Anyway,
and that's probably why you like the storylines and everything too, because it's probably nostalgic of what they were doing. So they're rewriting what you loved back then.
Gosh,
that's
I want to
cool.
write some of the story. I mean, like, there's not a WWE fan that doesn't think about, hey man, that would be cool if I can write some of the storylines. Because in my mind, even watching it now, I'm like, I think this is gonna happen here, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. But that's what makes it so cool.
It's so fun.
I think it's like this. WWE is like an ongoing movie that never stops. Because every week it's like they're building off of last week.
Did you see what Triple H said? And I'm not sure if I checked the source.
Yeah.
But he was saying that WWE is an what did he say? It's an entertainment sport. It wasn't a sport.
Yeah.
People are upset because they know they're wrestlers. But the thing is it's just like it's a TV. It's a one, like you said, it's like one long TV show. It is for entertainment. You know?
Oh my gosh.
And though we can't deny that these guys are out there, you know,
these guys are
work. I mean, to be lifted up and thrown to the floor, like your body's gonna feel.
I mean, people say it's fake, but it's like you want fake, like watch The Bachelor or something. You know, I mean, nothing against shows that make it or whatever, but these guys are like putting their bodies on the line, and there's a lot of. But what I love that they do so well is there's so much history, and there's so much respect for the history. Yeah. Like and then the lineage and the family dynamic, the Samoans, for example, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and there's so much. I don't know, like, and it's cool because, like I said, I was into it as a kid, stopped for a while. Now my kids like it, and we like it, and it's cool.
But it absolutely connects to the martial arts though as the base, family, values, the respect, all of that go back to ancestral, like the masters, the hierarchy. I mean, everything is very connected to those roots, and so it almost feels like our essence like craves that, right? That discipline, that like back to structure, and it goes back to structure, emotion, knowledge, legacy, right? So it's like you can find that in everything. And I feel like that is part of why you gravitate to probably certain things too, sports and this and that, because it's like it is very like natural for you. That discipline.
But that's structure, emotion, knowledge. I think that's applied. Like that's so powerful. Without structure, you have nothing. Structure is the foundation, right?
It's our bones. It's our skeleton.
Right.
It's the.
And then the emotion is the excitement and the passion and the fun and the fire and the what gets you going, and so you gotta have both. Without structure, it's chaos, but without emotion, there's no life, there's no love, there's no purpose, right? Then you have the knowledge, which is the application of the information, right?
Application of information.
Yeah, people say knowledge is power, but knowledge is potential power.
Yeah. If you don't do anything with it.
And that's another thing when our father was creating the life skills, like what are the 3 life skills that are most popular that the parents want for their kids? What are they? Respect, discipline, self-esteem, right? And then you have the 3 that help you become great leaders: honesty, belief, and communication. And respect, when we were creating these quotes, right? We could have said, what's the most common quote for respect? Treat others
the way you want to be treated.
People know that. But just because you know that doesn't mean you're practicing and applying it, right? So that's why the quote was chosen. Respect is not what you know, it's what you do. And then I added a little to the end. I said, it's not only what you do, but how you do it, because your delivery, it's one thing to tell someone, hey, I'm happy to see you, right? There's people, hey, good to see you. Are you sure?
You say, how are you? I'm good.
How you doing? I'm good. And our father always says, you better let your face, you better let your face know it.
Yeah, that's what he says.
So,
better let your face know it.
The respect, and that's the thing that we train our students, is they're practicing these life skills without even knowing.
No.
And like the way we have them say hello when they come into the school, how they have to bow before they enter. The first thing we do is we bow to the parents, because without our parents and the support, we have nothing. So we need to honor our parents. So that's why every class all right, turn face to parents, bow, because that support is should be honored.
And you have them say thank you too. Like you bow to them, but you also have them say thank you, which is like just active gratitude.
Right.
And active gratitude, even without us knowing that it's happening, it puts in really great stuff into our brain and our bodies. So
absolutely.
I mean, just doing that, right, and being in the habit of that, and you're having the children do that and be in the habit of that, they're going to take it home,
right, and
they're going to take it to the school, and that is what's so great about Victories. Absolutely. Because you can take it to every aspect of your life. Even when you're a child, there's so many places that you're going to need to take that respect and just the greeting, right, just the hello.
I talk about that every single time I teach. The practice of saying hello. It's the first step to social success, social development. And because of times that we're in, this is the most important. Technology's getting just better by the day. We know that. And also the social distancing and COVID really did the opposite of what victory is, which is social interaction, social connection. So.
And this is something that I talk to parents a lot about, is that time that those students kind of lost that would have been really important. We got to experience kindergarten, first grade, second grade with children, no masking. There's, children in that didn't get that. And even just recognizing like facial expressions or like nonverbal cues. A lot of children, they lost that because we covered half faces. So there's all of these, I don't want to call them issues. I'd say obstacles and challenges that parents are facing with losing that time and now needing to double up on this human connection, double up on teaching them the different the different social cues that they're going to have to deal with in society forever when someone is being sarcastic or when someone has a sour face or when someone's happy. These are things that we really lost during COVID because they were home, or when they were out, they were masked. And of course, for the times that was what we were told to do, and we did that. But now we're learning about these different things that kind of developed from that.
Right.
And victory has the perfect solution for it.
We really do. So if your child lost that in that time, come join us because you'll get it back. I mean, that's what we reinforce. We reinforce these habits that they're going to need for the rest of their life. Simple as that. We reinforce these habits that the parents want. Parents force it, we reinforce it. And then, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, victory is part of your village, part of your family, part of your, and that's what we do. I have so many stories of these students, I mean, we have so many stories of our students that are now instructors. I mean, that's the beautiful part about it is we don't go and recruit instructors. We don't go to tournaments. Let me just say this. We don't go to tournaments recruiting instructors. We don't go to places to recruit people. What we do is, which 80-90% of our instructors are homegrown. I mean, they're students of ours. I mean, I can down the list. I mean, students that started with us and now
hundreds.
They're instructors. You know what I mean? And there's a special case here and there, whatever. But the majority of our instructors started from day one. And that's beautiful to see. We saw it at the convention. These guys are running their demo teams now. This was the same kid that was, the youngest one on the team, or but now they're leading others. And I think that's always the goal. Is how can I create a leader and make a lasting impact in life through martial arts.
Yeah, and it's the victory legacy. It's we continue. It's the victory way. It's we continue to, have these parents understand that this is a place that is not just your after school activity.
Yeah. A lot of parents come in thinking that though. Yeah, they're like, I want an activity, right? And so I always say this too, like, parents, I know at first what seasonal activity can I do for my child? And then you see a lifestyle transformation. You see a lifetime transformation or victory for life. I mean, it's a really a transformation that happens where these kids are learning about discipline and respect, but they're also enjoying themselves too. Because kids, tend to not like things sometimes that don't benefit them, right? Or they like things that don't benefit them. And martial arts is something that they can enjoy, but also, seek the benefits.
Reap.
I said seek and reap at the same time, so it's reek.
Reap. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to reek.
No. I think our time is done already.
Is it?
I think
no,
so.
I think we just started.
That was crazy. That one went by so fast.
Don't play with me.
No, I really think so. I think we're done.
We got a few minutes.
Yeah, no, I think they sent us they showed us 10 minutes.
The worst thing you could do with me is tell me I have 5 minutes left, because that means that's like when I'm teaching class. I have a lady, Mrs. Hennessy, who I've worked with for 25 years. She's the only one in the world that I allowed to, give me one of these, But I need it though, because once I get in the zone and I'm teaching, I'm going, I can. And so but she feels so good when she does this.
Oh yeah,
too. She's like,
I already know.
But I'm okay because I need it, because I don't want to go over time. I want to respect the family's
parents,
time, the parents, right? But I'm gonna be teaching tonight.
And she's gonna do it. We need to film her doing it.
I know. So, but anyway, yeah, it went by really fast.
I heard Mama Hen's on TikTok. So
is she? I don't have TikTok, but you know,
if anybody
I'm not
finds
surprised.
Mama Hen on TikTok, she'll probably be doing one of these.
Shout out to her. She's been with our company over 25 years, and she is, she's been, you know, being a director at a school at the highest level for that long and that consistent.
She was my boss at one point.
I
definitely was a program director under her at one point. Yeah.
No, she's great. She's got a lot of stories. You know, she's got a lot of, and she's so unique, and that's what I love about her. She's, you know, her superpower is her uniqueness, but her level of caring. She does. She cares. She takes care of that school like it's, and it gives her so much life. And she gives so much in return. So I mean, it's just I'll see her here in a little bit. So
she'll be so happy for the shout out.
Oh, I know. Oh, she will be. Trust me, she will be.
Oh yeah. And that's why we went over, just so that we could have her. She could have her moment. So it's time now. It's time.
Well, thank you for watching our episode here with Janet and myself. Like I said, this has been such an amazing journey. Just the beginning. So much left, and so much to look forward to. So love you.
Till next time.
Till next time.